Let's get it.
Beautiful. All right, let's go. First question.
First question.
What's your full name?
Man, my full name is Rocky.
all the artist names
that I've ever had in my life. All right, I'm going to set the record straight for now, forever, man. My full name is, like, on my birth certificate.
Yeah.
It's Chauncey Sherrod Armstrong.
Okay.
So that's where C.S. Armstrong come from.
Right. And we'll go through the history real quick of the other names
Yeah.
that you've had. Well, actually, we'll jump into that because it's all more music related. Are you named after anybody?
So the story is my mom's friend was shot and killed in Shreveport.
Okay.
And I guess when they were younger, she said that she was going to name her first kid after him.
Wow.
And he passed, and she named me after him.
Whoa.
Yeah, her friend in Shreveport. Yeah.
Okay. Wild way to catch a name.
Yeah, right. I ain't had no control over it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nice to have the honor, though.
Yeah, for sure.
So where were you born?
I was born in Houston, Texas, at Herman Hospital.
Okay.
Yep.
And how long did you live there?
In Houston?
Yeah.
Man, I lived in Houston. I don't want to lie to you, so give me a moment.
Yeah.
I want to say I was like 4.
Okay.
And then from there, my mom, she got married to my stepfather, and we went to Korea.
No way.
Yeah, from Houston to Korea, straight up. And then from Korea, we went to Germany.
Okay.
And
what part of Germany?
Kaiserslautern, K-Town.
Okay.
And because he was in the Air Force. And from Germany, we went to Atlanta. And no, let me stop at Germany. That's when my little brother was born, in Germany.
Okay.
And then from Germany, we went to Atlanta. They got a divorce, and we went back to Houston.
Okay.
So Houston always been a place of home that I always went, I guess I can go back to Houston. I go back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mama too. So, we always went back.
What's your family unit like? So you have your mom, your brother?
Yeah. Shit can get deep, Nick.
That's what we're here for.
My mom had 3 kids, man.
Okay.
My mom had 3 boys. Me first, then my second brother Chad, and then my third brother who's tatted on my chest, Xavier. Yeah, so it's but I grew up with my little brother, my youngest, Xavier, and my mom. So that's the unit. My mom, my little brother, and myself. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the unit. Yeah.
And then so you moved back to Houston. Do you remember like what it was like when you were living there when you were little?
5th grade, man. Went back 5th grade. Man, that shit. Houston, man, it's especially I think you learn stuff about where you from the older you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you feel, you feel like something about home, but when you, especially, I went to Korea, I went to Germany, so now Houston look different to you. You know what I'm saying? So now, I've learned so much through the times about Houston, whether it be the food that I thought was incredible when I was a young kid, the chicken wings and fries. I go back there now, my stomach toe up, man. So, I mean, I realized that I lived in less fortunate surroundings. When I was younger, them houses was huge to me. You know what I'm saying? I went back recently to shoot all the content for my new project, and everything looked smaller. Everything, the pictures that I thought was huge, the houses, the doors, and it's like I said in a video, it let me know how much I've grown myself.
Yeah.
But everything just was a grand thing to me when I was younger.
What kind of stuff were you into when you were younger?
I wanted to be a gangster.
Okay.
That was like, I wanted to be like my uncle, man. I was like, anything my uncle was into, I wanted to be like him. So, and if it wasn't him, it was my grandma. My grandma, she was a pastor. So them the 2 extremes I lived with. You know what I'm saying?
Wild duality between the 2 of them.
Facts. Super duality. So, I mean, I think them extremes, though, it made me choose like who I am. You know what I'm saying? And what I wanted to be. Because I definitely don't want to be no gangster now, and I definitely don't want to be no pastor now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but those were the things that I was heavily into. I wanted to read about Jesus, and I wanted to read about or learn about other things.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
You play any sports or anything like that, or any other
yeah.
things? What was like your main thing when you were younger?
When I was younger, man, so my mom, I got this story, man. One time I bet my mom my allowance that I could beat her in running, right? And I had no idea, dog. This is just a crazy random kid bet. She was like, okay, let's go. I should have known by how fast she put her shoes on, but she put them shoes on, pow. And I've never seen my mom run like that. And then I was like, Mom, have you ever ran track before? She's like, yeah, I used to run all state and all it. And I was like, oh, man, okay. And so, yeah, I started running track because she started to train me. She was actually a coach at high school for track at one time. So that was my big thing, the 100 meter and 200 meters.
Okay.
She was hard on me with that. And then I played football. Track and football, them was like my things, man. I loved it.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So how long were you living in Houston for at that point? Came back in like 5th grade and
yeah, came back and lived, and we left. My mom went into the Army as in around the 6th grade.
Okay.
And so we moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
To Fayetteville, North Carolina in the 6th grade. Stayed there till I graduated, and I moved back to Houston. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt when I moved to North Carolina, my mom, even though it was good for her, it took me away from my family. I wasn't with my uncle no more. I wasn't which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Which is probably a good thing. But to a kid, though, in the 6th grade, it was traumatic. I was like, man, I don't know nobody in no fucking Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And then J. Cole becomes like this big thing from Fayetteville. But yeah, man, that's where we was at, Fayetteville. We moved to Fayetteville.
And that was all the way up until you graduated high school?
Yeah, high school till I was 17, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first job?
My first job, that's a hell of a question, man. First time I ever answered this question. Horns Deli Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom embarrassed me and told me to hold up my check when I first got it. So I have a picture of my mom like pulling my cheek, holding up my first check. So yeah, I had to cut meat. I'm sure I wasn't old enough to be working that machine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to cut the meat like I was at a butcher, keep shit clean.
Yeah.
But it was an ice cream shop. Okay. So it was fire ice cream. Like, oh my God, man. And after I got off of every shift, I used to get my mama a turtle. You know them turtle chocolate candies?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's how I kept my mama happy, man.
Hey, that's
Thank
great.
you so much. Regular turtles, man. So that was my first job. Then the next job after that, Tupac got this song, Dear Mama. He said I kicked out at 17, and that's when I got kicked out of my mama's house, and I got a job at the pizza shop. And then I got 2 jobs, as a matter of fact, pizza shop and washing cars.
Okay.
It was like the thing, and like I think that was my senior year.
Okay.
Senior year, that's my second job. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What kind of music were you listening to when you were growing up?
All right, you ready?
Oh yeah.
All right, so I just told you my mama, she's strict. Why didn't just tell you that? She ain't.
Well, yeah, I could imagine with the pastor side of things. Sure.
Exactly. She don't fuck with nothing gangster.
Yeah.
Anything thug, ghetto, my mama not fucking with it. So these gold teeth in my mouth, you can imagine how she felt about that. So my mama, Chopin, Beethoven, Bach, Nina Simone, Louis Armstrong, Mike Phillips, Charlie Parker. That's my mama. Okay, let's put my mama to the side. Let's go to my grandma. Clark sisters, Vicky Winans, BB Winans, CeCe Winans, Paul Jones, John P. Key. Let's put my grandma to the side. My uncle, Mac 10, Tupac, Snoop, Dre, whole MC8, whole bunch of like gangster shit. Yeah, whole like all gangster shit, dog. Like so them were like the worlds I stayed in. It's like when I got tired of the Clark sisters or gangster shit, I'm gonna settle down and listen to some jazz, some Charlie Parker, some Louis Armstrong.
Sure. I
got tired of that. I'm listening to Field Mob, DJ Screw, what I'm saying, Zero, shit like that. And When I got tired of that, I'm listening to the Clark sisters. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the world I stayed in. And the older I got, that's how I am now. That's the worlds I like listening to. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. What about when you graduated high school, moved back to Houston, and what was life like at that point?
Terrible, man.
Yeah.
It was terrible because that itch of wanting to impress my uncle again was there. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to be gangster like him, man. You know, whatever I had to do. And I said this on my album, so I don't mind saying it in an interview. I actually got jumped in when I was 19. And anybody that's familiar with gang politics, after you get jumped in, you got to put in work and pretty much earn your flag. I don't know how everybody else move, but you don't just get no flag. If you seen somebody, you know, waving a red flag, a blue flag, they did something to get that. And so I had to put in work. And so my grandma, she wasn't having it. So she was like, you got to get the fuck out of my house doing this. I don't know who you think you is, but you got to leave. So I was on the streets for a little bit, man, like sleeping in a car type shit. And my uncle told me, he said, man, this gangbanging shit ain't for you, man. It's time for you to leave Houston. And he took me to Sharpstown Mall, and we went recruiter by recruiter. I say this all the time, but I went to the Air Force, 11-month wait. You know, went to the Navy, 11-month wait, and the Army say 2 weeks. I never looked back, Nick. I never looked back.
How was being in the Army?
You gotta ask a more specific question than that. That's so crazy, because that's something nobody ever asked me about, and it's so deep. There's so much that happened, and I don't really talk about it.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of like where your mind goes, because for me, it's interesting to know. I mean, from starting out, you know what I mean, and right. Shipping out and packing out, like, where do you go? You know what I mean? And
let me tell you
what's
an interesting
the process
story.
And
so you swear in, you do your oath and everything cool, because you thinking in your head, I'm 19, I'm about to be making crazy money, so I don't care, you know? You just don't think about the road ahead when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I swear in, and I'm not lying to you, bro. I gotta take my glasses off. I'm not lying to you. So I swear in, and I did my basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia. So you had to fly into the Atlanta airport. This 2005, okay? I'm not lying to you, Nick, when I'm about to tell you, right? So I'm at the Atlanta airport, rucksack on my back, like a green sack, and I'm like in line and everything. Guess who I seen in the airport? James fucking Brown.
No way.
I'll never forget this moment, because it's like when I very first went to the Army.
Yeah.
I was like, and I couldn't get out because I'm like in formation with my bag. And I'm like, dog, nobody tripping. That he just walking through the airport. Like, he was just chilling. Like, and everybody, and I was like, dog, I asked somebody at the airport. They was like, yeah, he do that all the time. He come through the airport and just walk through. Like, I'm like, bro,
what?
I wish I could have said, like, bro, I'm the new you.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, you don't know me, but I'm the new you, my dude. Like, I can't dance, but that voice, hey, man, I'm giving you a run for your money, my guy. And so we ship off. We get to, because it's like an hour away from the airport, man, Fort Benning. Man, I remember just, you know, falling asleep in my bunk. And I remember I had a dream, Nick. My mama woke me up for school. She was like, Chauncey, wake up for school. I jumped up and I hit the top of the bunk. And I looked around. I was like, bro, I'm really in the fucking Army, dog. Like, it hit, you know. I seen people commit suicide, like, you know, shaving my head off, you know, all the fights. Like, bro, it was that shit was a time, bro. I felt like I was in prison, man. Like, that shit was a real tough thing, man, to be, you know, so young and not with nobody and having to really learn on your own who you is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when all that gangster shit got weeded out. Yeah. It was like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a man now, because ain't no block with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no uncle to protect you. Ain't nothing, you know? So it's like, if you want to talk shit, you better be able to have some hands to back it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost some, won some.
Yeah.
That's where I learned everything, man. For real, like without the Army, I feel like I would have been dead, been in jail, been in some dumb shit. But
Sounds like you're on the path for it.
Yeah, it felt like the Army like just woke me up, bro.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. But it's so much to talk about that. But yeah.
How long were you there?
8 years.
No way.
Yeah.
And was it all in Atlanta, or were you traveling around?
Went from Fort Benning, Georgia, to San Antonio, Fort Sam, Houston. Then I went to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in D.C.
Okay.
And then from D.C. I went to Fort Hamilton in New York, and that's where I ended up in New York. And in 2013 is when I got out, and I was still in New York.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so when you get out and you're in New York, what happens at that point? Like, have you started at all in the Army making music in any capacity? Are you singing? Are you realizing, like, when did you tap in with your voice and kind of realize, like, holy shit?
Right. Well, that was young, man. That was like, I'm 10.
Okay.
I'm 10, and man, we can even go earlier than that, man. I'm young at Greater Jerusalem Baptist Church, just seeing preachers put their hand behind their ear. Oh my, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. I'm a kid, like, who the fuck? I ain't doing that. And then what's crazy about that moment is he's also saying something.
Yeah.
So he preaching from the Bible. So his lyrics are on point, his delivery, and what he's saying. So I was like, man, I want to play with that a little bit. And I started to do screw tapes in Houston. And I started to notice people in the hood in Canterbury Village. Man, I go outside, somebody blasting my shit. Man, I'm like, oh, shit. Hold up. My uncle, he came to me, man. He was like, man, if you're going to do this singing shit, you can't be singing like no little bitch, man. You got to sing like you got some nuts, man. Singing with your chest. It's like, all right. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see where that went. You know what I'm saying? My whole chest be out, motherfucker. So, I mean, yeah, that's... Man, it was the voice. Yeah, I was singing in the Army. I was singing in the so crazy. Another story, man. And in my when I went to Fort Sam Houston, I was supposed to sing the national anthem. I got caught in the girls' barracks the night before. I ain't get to do it, but that was my thing: fighting and singing.
Yeah.
That's what people knew me for, man. This man got a temper, but he can sing though. So
you land in New York, and what happens?
I land in New York, and you know, for people, because I know the world gonna see this. I feel like the world gonna see this interview. So I got a shout out to Miss Andrea and John. They gave me a place to stay, man, in the Bronx. I know most people are complaining about the Bronx. But a lot of people are complaining about not having a place to live also.
Yeah.
And they gave me that for years. I stayed in a basement in the Bronx and got my bachelor's degree at Monroe College in the Bronx. Yeah, and then I started getting my name out there. I started working at Bad Boy at Daddy's house with Jack Knight. And from there, you know, people started telling people about me. Yo, it's this new dude. He used to be in the Army. And my voice wasn't like it is now. I'm over here trying to be Trey Songz and shit. So I didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? But people still fucked with me as a person. And, you know, I got the potential with something about him.
Yeah.
Then I met this dude. I'm fast forwarding a lot. But I met Cobain Ivory.
Okay.
And I got in this group. And he was like, man, I think you can be a blues singer. And I was like, man, I'm a gangster, nigga. What the fuck you talking about, man? I don't know what you talking about. He was like, nah, you can still be gangster, but, you know, you ever heard of Howlin' Wolf? I was like, yeah, I heard of him, but, you know, play me something. That man played Backdoor Man. Man, here we are, bro. Here we are. And then I started doing my own research, and I just seen how Muddy Waters was the foundation of a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, you know, Elvis, you know, a lot of people copied off of him, you know, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them just, is a different version of Muddy Waters. And when I realized that he was the foundation of it all, it's like, that's what I want to be for this generation.
Yeah.
The foundation of it all. So that's why I got his face tatted on my neck. But yeah.
That's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
So you're moving around, early stages in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just like kind of more you're writing for other people? Are you trying to be an artist? Are people looking at you like they want to sign you? Like, and then you're linking with Cobain, and do you guys immediately start creating and kind of get into making a group? Is that
right?
That was like the first real.
Man, you asking a lot. So before
like 7 questions.
Yeah, but before Cobain, like when I first got to New York, my first manager was Keith White. And he managed 2 other artists at that time, Winter Gordon and Game Rebellion. Rest in peace to Netic. Where is the camera at? Where I'm looking at? Rest in peace to Netic, man. I love you for life, man. He just passed recently. He got killed in Mexico. Winter Gordon, shout out to you. And then Keith, he couldn't manage me. He was like, man, I can't do this every day. I need help. So he introduced me to Shani Gonzalez. Shani Gonzalez was working at Def Jam at the time.
Okay.
And her other artist was this kid named Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
You know? And so after a while, that kid started to not be a kid no more. Yeah. And he started to blow up.
Yeah.
And she was like, yo, I need help. She introduced me to Alaska Gideon. So I got 3 managers now. So Alaska Gideon has artist Bridget Kelly, who was on Rock Nation. So I used to be in Tata's office every day. That gold couch that's popular now, that used to be in Tata's office, and nobody gave a fuck about it. And we used to just go on that couch for lunch. Yo, Tata, what you on? We listening to references for Rihanna, for Bridget. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got my first industry thing. All the managers put together. You know what I'm saying? Had their own artists signed to different labels.
Sure.
And I started to get to know people, and then I met Ro James. Then
wow, you met Ro that long ago?
Yeah, I known Ro for like 12 years, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I met Ro James, and then he introduced me to Luke, and then from there, Miguel came to New York, and we was all mobbing together. It was somebody actually.
What a time! That must have been wild.
So what's crazy is somebody offered us a deal, dog. We was called the Jackets as a group.
Wow.
Me, Miguel, Ro, Bridget, Winter Gordon.
Wow.
We was like the Hey, look at that's a tattoo. We all got the Jackets. We was like the niggas, man.
Wow.
And
I had no idea. That would have been a fucking group.
And I had to been a rebel.
Yeah.
So I was the one. Nah, I can't do no group shit. Of course, I was the one.
Fucking that up for us. Thank you, man.
I know. I definitely fucked that up for sure. But yeah, them was all. Yeah, I still talk to everybody. Miguel's a big supporter, and everybody, man, is doing great, man.
Miguel's the sweetest, man. Miguel taught me how to use Pro Tools.
Miguel?
Yeah, in 2009. I was using Logic, and it was funny because I was watching a video when I was going through my hard drive.
This is Miguel times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have footage of him singing "Rock with You" by Michael Jackson on my couch in my living room to a DiBiase beat when DiBiase was making a beat in the kitchen in my old apartment on a Roland 404. It is so awesome. I'll show you that when we wrap this up.
That's legendary as fuck.
Yeah, but we had a session because I was doing a You and I song with Miguel, the song called Lately Remix. Yeah, so we did that at my apartment.
Damn.
And
I'm thinking about the third song with BJ the Chicago Kid.
Yeah, that came after.
That was after.
I was on Thurs's album. I think that was his first solo album, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, just a quick random tangent on that, but I was using Logic, and it was like my first few times using Pro Tools, and Miguel would be like, hey man, like, can I teach you a couple things? And I was just like, yeah, are you kidding? Like, I would love that.
Meanwhile, he's selling out arenas. It's crazy. Shout out to Migs, man.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
For sure. The sweetest guy, man.
Yeah,
the
man. Still to this day, too,
yeah.
man.
Epic. So you're in New York running around with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on with that?
So then, I started to, all of those managers that I had was out. They was like, look, bro, I don't know what the fuck to do with you, dog. Like, your voice is different. If you need help, come holler at us, but, hands off. Man, I was about to go back to Houston, Nick. about to go back to Houston, and this dude called me, Ian Holder. He's like, yo, man, you still got a manager? And I was like, nah, I'm like depressed type shit. He's like, man, I'm about to fly out of New York. I'm about to go to LA, but if you can come to BMI, I want to play you this dude's beats. I think y'all should work together. And I'm like, bruh, at this point, I done worked with everybody. Like any producer you can imagine, working with Puff, seen everybody. So I'm like, I ain't trying to listen to no producer, bro. He's like, nah, I really think you should come down here. So I'm in the Bronx. I go from the Bronx to fucking World Trade Center. That's far as fuck to be traveling. So I go down there, and it's rock and roll beats. And down. I was like, man, you called me down here for this shit? I was like, man, whatever. A couple weeks go by, or I want to say a couple days. He like, yo, that producer I played you, he here, and I want to introduce y'all. And I was like, bro, I didn't really like them beats. They all right. He was like, nah, I want you to meet. So I go to BMI again. I'm waiting in the lobby, and this is dude in the lobby. We looking at each other. I'm like, man, this nigga look weird. And he looking at me like, this nigga look weird. And it's all,
tension.
Yeah. Ian come out. He like, oh, you guys met. And I'm like, nah, we did. We ain't say shit to each other. And so Cobain Ivy comes into my life. And so Ian has this master plan. Ian is like, yo, your name is Rocky Evans, because I used to go by a different name. And he's like, I know you want to rebrand out of that. You can be in a group to rebrand out of that on some Gnarls Barkley type shit. And he had the whole thing. His name, his thought, Charlie Red. He like, yo, it could be dope. Charlie, just think about it, Charlie Red. And I was like, again, here I go again. And I'm learning about this instance. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to do this group shit. And I was like, man, I did that before. Let me try something different. So I'm in college at this point. I get a call. So I leave that meeting not wanting to work with this producer still. I get a call from a music supervisor. Music supervisor is like, yo, I heard one of your songs and we want to put it in a Victoria's Secret ad. We offering like $250K. And I'm like, what song is it? And it's like the one song I did not write. And I'm like, fuck, bro. And they was like, all good. We have an in-house producer and you probably won't get $250, but at least you'll get something.
Yeah.
And y'all can work with this producer. His name is Cobain Ivy.
The world is like, come on, man.
Yeah, this is the person you need to work with. And so I'm like, bro. So I go to his house in Jersey. We do this song. It's called Could Be. And we look at each other. He's like, dog, you need a roommate? I moved to Jersey.
Wow.
And fucking changed my life, bro.
Yeah.
First placement on Love and Hip Hop when Joe Budden was crying. Kansas, I'm singing right behind this. My first placement. Then I got a Playboy placement, Coca-Cola. It kept going. What's name was Charlie Red was a setup for all my placements and me realizing that my music was really some cinematic type shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your voice is built for that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're working with Cobain, and is it largely just making songs for sync? Or are you guys trying to create an album? Is it just kind of like you're creating and people are
we did the first
it?
Yeah, we did the first album, and it attracted somebody we was both a fan of. So before we started working, we was like, we want this music to be a mix of Amy Winehouse and Tribe Called Quest.
Okay, cool.
Like that's what we decided. So we was working on the album, and we put out this song called Kansas. Ali Shaheed Muhammad hits us up.
Wow. Right out the gate.
Out the gate, bro. And we like, bro, we said we wanted to be like Tribe. And so he was like, yeah, can I come to y'all studio? So he pulls up in this big body ass Benz in the hood in Jersey. I swear I lie. This shit is like everybody getting shot up in Jersey area. Like a horrible area. He pull up, come through, get out the car. Me and Cobain like, yo, this fucking Ali Shaheed Muhammad. We thought it felt like, you know what I'm saying? We made this happen in our minds. So he came and he gave us the game about how to stay together as a group. You know what I'm saying? Because he got his, obviously with Q-Tip.
Yeah.
With Fife, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And when we got that confirmation, it's a video where I'll send it to you, where Ali Shaheed is out DJing, and I walk in the door and he noticed me and he stopped the record. He's like, yo, I gotta tell y'all something. Y'all know who D'Angelo is? And everybody was like, yeah. They was like, y'all know who Arsenio Hall is? And everybody was like, woo, 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 woo. They was like, look, man, I remember I took this young kid, D'Angelo, to Arsenio Hall, and he was amazing. Nobody knew nothing about him. Wow. All I got to say is, Charlie Red, ladies and gentlemen. And he dropped my song.
Wow. What a moment. I got chills from that.
Yeah, I was like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was, and so it, little moments give you incentive to keep going, man.
Yeah.
And so
that's a big moment.
Yeah. And so after that, me and Cobain, we like, yo, let's do another album. And then Action Bronson hit us.
Oh, wow.
Bronson was like, come on tour with us. We went on tour. That shit was crazy. And then,
is that your first time really going out and performing live, like in a tour, or is that?
Yeah, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
Outside of like church, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like preaching and shit.
No, but like a real.
Yeah, like a real tour. Yeah, that was my like first time really doing that shit. Shout out to Action for bringing me on to that.
What was that, like 2012, 13, somewhere around there?
Exactly that time. Yeah.
So it's like him on the rise too.
Mr. Wonderful. Cool. So from that, I got on like 3 songs on Mr. Wonderful.
Cool.
And then so it would be cool. I'll sing Chance the Rapper's parts. Then before I'm doing a Charlie Red set, like it was dope. We did South by Southwest with him. I met I'm going to change it. Mm-hmm. What's my guy name? He passed. Not Lee Fields.
I loved him. Bradley. Fuck man. I don't know why I can't remember his last name, but he is amazing, man. I love that song so much.
Man. Anyway. Backstage at South by, I know, damn.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tom Bradley.
Bradley.
I was about to say Bradley Cooper, but I know that.
Me too. That's just because it just goes that way. Yeah. But
fuck, what's his name? I see his face.
Me too. I love that song.
I think I got that song. I gotta look that.
Yeah, I know I did too. Anyway.
Hold on, nah.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta make sure we give him love. Yeah, Charles Bradley.
Charles Bradley.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He was
Damn,
backstage.
I can't believe that escaped me.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
I love that album.
I know. He was backstage, man. He's like, "What's your name, man?" He was smile. He shook my hand. I'm like, Charlie
so
Red,
cool.
man. Super amazing. Backstage while Currency is performing.
Wow. What a moment too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that like that on that particular song. To me, there's like a few vocal performances in my life that I feel like When a Man Loves a Woman to me is still number 1 ever. Like the best vocal performance I've ever heard recorded.
For sure.
Changes is like in the top 5 for me though. I really love that
He
song.
went crazy,
his performance on that song is phenomenal.
Yeah.
What a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you're on tour with those guys,
and
you get back, and what happens next?
Good old Chauncey Sherrod Armstrong. I'm tired of this group shit.
Yeah.
I'm tired of New York, actually.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here no more. They like, yo.
Things are cooking.
Yeah, they like, what's up, dog? I'm like, nah, I'm going to Paris. And so I went to Paris, bro, for like a month.
Nice.
Yeah, I was there for like a month. I was going to live there, and then I had to choose between living there and graduating from college from a bachelor's degree.
Okay. Where were you going to school?
Monroe College in the Bronx.
Okay.
And so last minute I decided to graduate. And so I flew back from Paris, came back, talked to Cobain. I'm like, man, I'm done, dog. I'm done with New York. This shit draining me. I had like a little breakdown at JFK. Called my grandma. I say, look, my grandma live in North Carolina. I say, I'm done. Can I put my shit in your storage? You know what I'm saying? I come down, give me 2 weeks, get my thoughts together. God told me come to LA and bring me here.
And I met you freshly when you landed here, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at
But
that.
you know what's crazy, man? You did not meet me when I first landed in LA. You met me when Alaska was managing me.
Okay.
So crazy, man. Rock Nation was like setting up sessions. I was frustrated, like, bro, sessions wasn't coming through. Bro, I walked to this studio from if I'm honest with you, from this little thing. Hey, I had a thing out here, boy. And I left the joint house. I lie to you not. I walked all the way from Beverly and Vine. All the way here. I walked here, and that's when we did that fucking Warms the Soul, bro.
Wow.
If you look at that that Warms the Soul, I'm like sweaty as shit, dog. Like I'm like done, dog. Like, so yeah, that's when you met me. And that was like, I want to say, bro, that was probably like 2011 actually.
Yeah.
That was like before I moved out here, because I came out here with Bridget Kelly. She introduced me to a joint. I was reckless in New York, bro. That's something that I'm not proud of, dog. I feel like as a man, self-control is one of your greatest weapons. In New York, I was all over the place. It was like anybody that showed me love, I was jumping at it.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to, and I even took some of that here, you know what I'm saying? But it's bad habits I had to get out of, because I didn't grow up with no father. So when a man didn't grow up with a father, you know, you impressed by love, by the smallest things. So you just jumping at opportunities, not knowing that you are enough. You are good enough. You are smart enough. You talented enough. And, you know, I had to take myself through the process of, even now, man, I'm officially not on Universal Records. I'm free now. I had to go through a 2-year process of seeing that, look, this shit ain't what you think it is.
Yeah.
You good enough.
Yeah.
You know? That brought me here, man. And when I came to LA, I just wanted the opposite of New York. I didn't want to be at no events no more. It's only a few people in LA that can say they've seen me at an event. But you know what's crazy? If you knew me from New York,
you were everywhere.
Everywhere. But it was like when I came to LA, bro, I just needed to relax, man. I needed to really get my thoughts and my priorities together. And I think that's what I did, man.
Well, we started off on the best best opening note I've ever had a session with anybody ever in history.
That shit was crazy, bro.
Just going through, I think it was all
Fresh Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck and maybe some THX stuff. I think we started with like in the early few sessions that we had. Just ripping THX, those songs,
just going
to pieces.
Yeah, I remember when Jesse Reyes came here.
Yeah,
that's a big moment too, I think, because I didn't know, and I want to say I slept on her, because in that moment it was like, you know, whatever. I gotta start a session, just, you know what I'm saying? But now she's fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
Solana too.
Yeah,
like all Dave East, Joey Badass, all these people. It just let me know it's possible.
Oh yeah,
like how real it. And for you, I know it's even crazier just to go up there and look at all them pictures and just see all the people you've seen from the start.
Yeah,
from Frank Ocean to all these people, dog. So. It's just, that's what allowed me to keep going, man, for real. Like, I seen this interview at Nip. He said the only distinguishing quality is that I didn't quit.
Yeah, that's it. My dad used to say you have a chip in a chair. Like if you're playing poker, as long as you're still at the table, you have a chance. Man, you know, you have a chip in a chair.
Hey, I got a few chips in my chair.
But that's it. You know, that's. I mean, look, it's a hard road. I mean, I know everybody that's done music has been in that high and low lull. You know, and I totally get that. But it's been an awesome journey watching you throughout the last 10 years, 11 years of knowing you and just seeing and all the times we've had our creative flows link. No, not at all. We got a lot of stuff.
I was about to say it's a lot.
I feel like we're still in 2012.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just making a note on how amazing, it's been watching that journey. I mean, when I first met you, we were linking probably every couple weeks to just do a Warms the Soul video.
Yeah.
Which was just basically me finding instrumentals in whatever I could that would, work for you. And like literally I feel like I would play you an instrumental maximum 3 times before you would walk in the booth and have a full song
and get it done
and sing the whole fucking song and then be like, all right, cool, what's next?
What's
and I was
next?
just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, who is
let
this?
Let it be known that was before Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
That's before.
Oh, yeah, it was well
anything.
before, yeah.
That's before anything, bro. For real. That's just, I think that come from the church, bro. That come from like, let them use you, child. Let them use you. You know what I'm saying? And just winging it and freestyling in the car with my uncle. You know what I'm saying? I say something whack, he punch me in the chest. Like, he be like, damn, dog, I gotta cover some hot shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all that shit, it's crazy the things that you think don't play a factor in your greatness.
Oh, yeah.
You being punished, you be thinking punished as a kid. Damn, man, I'm being punished. Man, I used to play this Casio keyboard every time I got punished. Now I'm producing my own songs.
Yeah. It's all got a meaning in a way, It's all like another brick in the house.
Man, for real.
Yeah, I remember, that specifically, that first Warms the Soul track that we did, I remember I played that. I couldn't have played that for you more than 2 times. And you sang so perfectly into the horn section. And then you're just like, oh, man, let the horns play. And I'm just like, how the fuck does this guy know that's where this is and where he is?
I just fucking heard this shit. Like.
So that, to me, just right away, just from listening to you was immediately like, holy shit, this guy is one of a kind.
Man, thank you.
And every single thing we've ever done since has that same
we done like 20,
quality.
20 of them ones.
Probably more.
Yeah.
That's but like even that's what I'm saying. Like going back and looking at my hard drive, like I'm just like, holy shit.
Damn.
We have so many of those videos that we've made over the course of time.
The joint with Donna Missile.
Yeah. I've still played that for a lot of people because it's just like such a special moment.
We ain't got to put this on camera, but she's so different now.
Yeah, I know.
She's like
the
other end of the spectrum.
I know.
I'm like,
she started doing like an alt pop, like alt R&B kind
of
thing.
What's happening?
Yeah, when she's got the pipes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what a moment that was. That to me, that is another one of those. Every one that we've done has been special, but that one has that same quality. That was literally just like, okay, these 2 people, like I never met her before.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she sang when you brought her to the studio.
Had
I literally
had
no idea.
Unassuming.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, hey, do you want to sing also? And it's just like, here are 2 microphones.
Yeah, right. Let's go.
You 2 just let's see what happens. And like that moment
Trent just FaceTime me.
Oh, cool.
Hold on. I'm listening to you. You can go.
That moment was like, I don't know, out of this world. And the 2 of you together hitting that song so perfectly again with like, you were writing a little bit, but like the first and only performance of you 2 singing that song is that recording on your VHS camera.
I know.
That just made it feel so like just, I don't know, there was just like such a uniqueness to the whole moment. And to have that, and then I remember Luke coming here right after and just looking at both of us being like, you guys just got touched by an angel. You and I are just freaking out. Yeah. Like, dude, you got to see what we just did. Oh my God, this whole thing. We got to transfer this footage. We're watching it back on like the camera player.
And then the dude, somebody big posted it or something.
Oh yeah.
And she didn't like it.
Todd Creasley. Damn. I met him, the Creasley Knows Best guy. I met him. We were filming we were recording a like audio for a podcast or a TV episode. And I was just like, hey man, I don't know if this is something that you're into, but I just got to share this with you because this moment was so special. And we made this thing, yesterday, 2 days ago. And I can't even begin to explain what this is. And I played that for him and he was just like, oh my God, I just had a religious
so that was
moment,
a genuine moment
now.
right there.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was like, I just had a real religious moment with this. I want to have them come sing in my daughter's wedding. As she's a, celebrity, the top A-list people are all going to be there. It'll be amazing to have them come in and do this. And I was surprised because he was just like, when this is ready, send it to me and I'll post it. And it was kind of like, yeah, I hear a lot of people talk, man, but I don't know if that's really going to happen. And literally, like, within an instant.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah. And I was just like, holy shit, this is like the moment we all dream about where, like, something gets 500,000 views in 20 minutes. And then I feel like I just got hit with the, hey, man, we got to run that. We got to down. Yeah. And I was just like, what?
Damn.
I have to tell this dude to pull this shit down that after.
Shit was annoying, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come back.
It will. And I feel like that moment, no matter what, is just a special moment, like the world will receive. But that was just a great universal gift at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're in LA and we're doing our thing on the side for fun. Mm-hmm. What else is going on? How is settling into LA? What's like your first moves when you get here? Where you living? Who you working with?
I'm on a couch. My cousin live out here with her husband.
Okay.
In Van Nuys.
Okay.
I'm on a couch and I had a bike. And I was working 3 jobs.
No way.
Yeah. 3 retail jobs. One on La Brea and Gant Retail, Trading Post, which is a dope shop on La Brea as well, and Nike. You remember I was working at Nike?
Yeah.
Backstock.
Yeah, I remember
overnight. That. Yeah. So at that time,
that was when I was seeing you more regularly because you were nearby.
I was right there. Yeah. So that was my first things, man. I was a lot more skinnier because I was riding that bike every day. I'm talking about, boy, I be on that red line, going from Van Nuys, get on the train, go to Hollywood. Yeah. I'm speeding down the hill to get to the Grove to get to work. Yeah, man, that was the hustling. And then in 2016, I got my first deal. I should have stayed working retail.
Walk me through that. What was the process of getting that deal and how'd it go? Obviously it didn't go well, but I still want to know.
Nah, I can't say it didn't. I can't. That's extreme to say something didn't go well. Cause, but I mean, I'm working 3 jobs, not making a lot of money. And met this producer, well-known producer, worked with Rihanna, Imagine Dragons, ex-ambassadors. And for me, I always had a problem, fitting in. Felt like I wasn't black enough for black people, too black for white people, or, you know what I'm saying? It was always something. So I felt like with this producer being put on a platform via Imagine Dragons.
Yeah. And they're like at the top of the world when you're signing this deal. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is perfect, dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, coming from Charlie Red, like, oh, this is the perfect mix right now.
I remember hearing you'd play me songs you guys were making, and I was just like, what the fuck,
crazy
dog?
Crazy shit. And it just didn't work out, bro.
Why do you feel like that was? Was it like something that was it related to the music? Was it related to like the admin side on the label? Like you just weren't feeling like there was a plan for you? Were you guys searching for a sound, or is it like what was the?
I think everybody get excited when they hear my voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they just get excited and want to be a part of it.
Sure.
And then, they don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. And the honest to God truth is I got to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do with it myself.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's, I think, really the home run piece for anybody in that situation is like when you're going to those labels, like it's still got to be you that's got to be the one that's like, I know what to do with this. Mm-hmm. I need this to fit into my plan, but here's where I'm at. And if you guys can help me modify and adjust and improve on what I'm trying to do, fantastic. Mm-hmm. But I know my course and you're either a part of it or you're not, and that's a tough thing to have, especially if you're like sole focus is just like, hey, I want to just be creative. I don't necessarily have the business vision to strategize on my whole thing. You know, it's a different type of person now.
Man.
And finding the team that is able to, or building your own team, or finding a team basically by way of luck that understands like you and what you need, you know, from a planning business strategy standpoint to be successful in music is fucking difficult.
It really is, especially if you're not from that place.
You know
what I'm saying? So it's like, and especially if you got a lot of childhood traumas and shit. So my shit is like, you know, I got trust issues, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it'd be hard to really decipher who to trust and who to fuck with. Who not. And you be thinking people good and they running game this whole time, you know what I'm saying? I know that's just life, but it's like, it seems like the music industry, and they see somebody full of love, it's like an opportunity to take advantage. Yeah. And it's unfortunate.
100%. Yeah, I know that. So you go through that that time, and how long are you in that deal for? How long are you working on that, and then how does it unwind, or what's like the way that then progresses?
So the producer comes to me and he's straight up like, you know, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, okay, I just had a kid though. He was like, you gonna have to figure it out. Straight up, he said that. And I'm like, bro, I'm signing you, bro. Like, he's like, I can't do nothing. Probably like 2 days later, I met Dr. Dre.
How wild is that?
He was mad. That producer was mad as hell, boy. Mad as hell. He was like, because I think it was still some kind of like feeling of maybe I can make this work. So he was actually taking me to meet Quincy Jones that day.
Producer, the guy you were signed to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was taking me to meet Quincy Jones that day.
Wow.
And I get a call from Thurs. Thurs like, yo, you come do this hook for me? I ain't talked to Thurs in years, Nick. I was like, bro, I ain't trying to do no hook right now. I'm about to go see Quincy Jones. He was like, man, it ain't gonna take too much long. You know, just come through real quick, do it, and you can leave. And I was like, what side of town is it? He sent me the address, and it was parallel to this producer's house.
Wow.
Like right there. So I pull up. It's a regular studio to me, and I'm in a rush because I'm about to go see my idol.
Yeah.
Quincy fucking Jones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I walk in the studio. I'm rushing Thurs, bro. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Like, where the beat? Put the beat on. I did something, and I'm like about to go. He playing it back, and I got my eyes closed. I'm closing my eyes. I lie to you not, Nick. It happened just like this. I'm closing my eyes, bouncing to the beat. I open them. Dre like, man, what the fuck is this? Man, who the fuck is this? He turned the music down. He was like, who the fuck is this? And I'm stuck. I wish it was a video in that moment. I'm looking at him like, what the fuck? And Thurs just laughing in the corner because he see me just stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And he look at me. He said, you staying here or you leaving? I said, 1 second. I stepped out. I called this producer. I said, look, I can't come. I'm working with Dre. Producer was like, Dre who? I said, Dr. Dre. He was like, bro, I'm taking you to meet Quincy Jones. I said, I can't come today. Hung up the phone. That was 2018.
What a moment.
100%. I never met Quincy Jones.
Still got to make that happen.
Still got to make that happen, but I think I made the right decision.
Yeah, no, you did.
Yeah.
What a moment, dude, especially to just have that, like, you're just in there with your eyes closed, and all of a sudden it's like a magic trick.
It happened just like that. I'm just vibing. I open it. He in the middle of the board. Like, who the fuck is this? And he was like,
man just showed up
right.
in the room.
And I got a video too. He was like, play me some music. I played him a Warms the Soul of Ours. He was like, man, this is like some Marvin Gaye shit. Hang up. Call his grandma. Bro, he was excited as fuck. I was like, bro, this is some wild shit.
Yeah. And
every day I said, look, I'm never not being at this studio. Yeah. As long as I can be here, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I can go there now. Yeah, bro. That's that dude, man. Mm-hmm.
What's it been like working there? What was like, okay, so you have that initial moment, and obviously he's recognizing you instantly.
Right,
It's amazing
right.
that you're getting, he's calling his mom, he's calling his grandma.
Yeah.
It's like,
we definitely gotta take that part out.
yeah, we will.
Yeah.
But, and we can, I'll send it to you. We can chop shit out.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah,
But
yeah.
just for the sake of us having the conversation
I
about
just
it.
want to remind it because.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure that's a pain point.
Super painful topic right now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. It's like just a moment. It's just showing like the special impression that you made in the moment. You know what I mean?
And you want me to be honest, Nick? I don't think people will like that.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you right now. We ain't gotta keep this eating.
Yeah.
I don't think people liked how much he loved me in the beginning. Like he was. Where Chauncey at?
Yeah.
Hey, call Chauncey. I'm like, what? This new nigga from Houston? He ain't even from Compton, nigga.
Yeah.
Why you fucking with him? And he still fucked with me.
I mean, look, man. I would imagine him as one of the greatest producers of all time. Just recognized, like, the talent, the skill, and the uniqueness of you.
All right.
And that's just a unique thing to spend your time creating with somebody with that toolkit. You know what I mean? Like, you're a rare breed of human.
It's just to meet another rare breed of human.
Yeah.
That's even more rare.
Yeah.
It's like,
have
damn,
that compatibility.
And I'm like, damn, I'm not alone. Like this, we talked about this. This man is a billionaire. He has no reason to work the way he works.
Yeah.
But he does.
Yeah. Which is just obviously because when you love music, it's just got that hook in you, and it's just like there's almost nothing better that you can spend your time doing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with the people that just inspire you to that extent.
Yeah, he been working with the same people for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people get close to him to even, say half the shit that I'm saying.
Yeah. And I feel like there's also a lot of people that I've heard kind of get caught in like the allure of working there and not make it
out of there.
Not make it out of there in the way they hoped, because I think everybody probably goes there and goes into most situations, but especially there with like the thought of like, oh man, if Dr. Dre really fucks with me and gets behind me, I'm going to be the next guy.
I'm going to be Tupac.
But there's still so much work that I think you miss out on understanding how much work you have to put in when you're given that opportunity to have that be, something the way Kendrick took and ran with that was.
And so that's when you learn so much, Nick.
Yeah.
That's when you see the difference between Kendricks and other
people
artists,
who don't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because if you think about Kendrick, if you think about Anderson, these people were moving already.
Yeah.
TDE was already a thing before Dr. Dre got involved.
Yeah.
It was already moving.
Yeah.
It was a plan and a vision already in place.
Yeah.
So it wasn't coming to Dr. Dre for a vision.
Yeah.
It was coming to Dr. Dre, hey, I need a step further.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah.
And now I got my vision together. We gonna see where that lead me.
It's an exciting time, man.
Yeah.
Freshly free from Universal.
Yeah.
You got 2 kids and...
Yeah, I got 2 kids. This is crazy.
You're in the process of eyeing a move to Berlin?
Eyeing a move to Berlin. That shit is crazy. Not eyeing. That shit is happening.
That's in the plan.
Yeah, that's happening.
Is that something that's going to be full time, or is that something that you're looking at like it's going to be for a period of time? Like, is it just
at
like
least 2 years?
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, because I love it there. I've done 2 colors.
Yeah. And
every time I've gone, it's just been incredible, bro. They treat me like I'm Bon Jovi or some shit. Like they love me, dog. Like, and I love I love small things, Nick. Like when I'm talking to people, and I grab my phone and I start texting. One dude put his hand on my shoulder while I was texting. He was like, "I'll just wait till you're done."
Yeah.
And then he looked at me in my eyes and finished this conversation when I put my phone down. It's like appreciation. It's there. It seems like people appreciate. And it's like when I see Cleo Soul selling out a theater and the whole theater singing her shit, yeah, I need to be a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been searching. I mean, like especially post COVID, but even when I look back at it a little bit before that, like to feel like there's not really any strong music culture in LA. At least it doesn't feel like there is right now to me, as somebody who's been pretty in the roots of it for a long time. Mm-hmm. There isn't really like a live music scene here. I mean, the live music scene here has always kind of been this fickle thing where it's like until you...
COVID, though.
Yeah.
I think that changed because I feel like a lot of shit was bubbling, about to happen, and COVID kind of changed everything.
It did. Mm-hmm. But I also... And I don't necessarily know that there is if there are places in the world that have recovered from this faster, but it just doesn't seem like LA is really the same or has any of that like DNA that it had before, because so many people moved back to where they were from, moved back to be with their families, you know, and then immediately now everybody's just on tour, and it's just like became this, okay, cool, we can do whatever.
I'll stop by.
Yeah. But it just lost like the community that it had for a long time. And I've been trying to identify where in the world there are unique like communities or like new, almost like new waves of like, oh, this cultural group's doing this style of music, whatever that is. Like what, you know, Berlin like is one of the places that everybody kept talking about how awesome the electronic music scene is there. Like that it's its own thing. I'm talking about,
bro, they be dancing, sweating in there.
Yeah.
At the club. I'm like, damn, man, in LA, they cool.
Yeah.
We posted up on the wall. And you know, in America, just in general.
Yeah.
It was refreshing to see people
yeah.
like going in. Like, yeah. I'm like, I just love the fact it's a song that Cody Chestnut has. He be like, what kind of cool will we think of next? And I love that Europeans were specifically in Berlin. It seemed like it's no cool.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you will see a crackhead ass naked in the park. Like, real deal, just walking, smoking a cigarette. You be like, damn, this is crazy. But he don't give a fuck. And it's like, hey, man, you know, that the freedom there is so ridiculous. It's like almost a little too crazy. If you find different, you be like, damn. Like, real deal, a park full of naked crackheads.
I did not have that experience when I was there.
No cap. Like, freedom, like, man, are they fucking in the park in the daytime? I'm talking about hella free, dog. And I'm like, having something you would look at as porn on a billboard.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like, is that titties? On a billboard just looking at me? But people don't look at it like that. It's like, bro, that's art.
Yeah.
This is the beautiful breast.
Yeah, European life's a whole nother.
It's just the appreciation is just so different. I want my sons to experience that.
Yeah.
I want them to learn another language. You know, I did just tell you when I was 4, I was living in Korea.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I want them to have that.
Did you learn another language when you were little? Were you traveling around a little too fast to?
Yeah, bro. It seemed like every 2 years I was somewhere different.
Yeah.
You know, you learn how to say hello.
Yeah. Some basics.
Some basic shit.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Nothing for real. And again, as a kid, I wanted to be a gangster. So I only wanted to learn how to say what's cracking, nigga.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't care about no language. I didn't give a fuck about no career. Get me back to the Hoovers, man. I don't want to be here. Yeah.
Tapping on COVID, what was that experience like for you?
COVID?
Yeah.
I got signed at the top of COVID. And just started to, much like the Army, bro. Just started to really ask myself them deep questions, like what I want to do. Learn how to produce. Man, that shit started to get better and better. It seemed like every day it started to get better. Different pockets and swings and grooves. I think that's getting my studio set up pretty much, at least for the past year. I won't say the full COVID, But at least the past year, it's just like getting my home studio set up straight and
Yeah.
making sure, it's a solid space for me to record. That's pretty much it.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, man, because I feel like my whole life, like I said, I didn't think I was allowed to produce. I thought that power was supposed to be given to other people. I didn't think I was good enough to do it my own. And I felt like the COVID allowed me to really, learn how to get better at producing, you know what I'm saying? Get better at singing, writing, songwriting, and to learn it so intimately. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I feel like COVID gave me the freedom to be more myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I just put out an EP produced by myself, and it's like, I gotta thank God for COVID for that. Like, straight up, because without that shit, like, I feel like I would have still been bouncing around from producer to producer. But with COVID, okay, I can really sit down and really think about what I really want to sound like. What's the groove? Hitting up Tay Beats like, yo, what you think about this? Nah, try this. Oh shit, that's crazy. And then now when I hit Tay Beats, he like, dog, you insane. And for Tay Beats to say that, I'm a fan of him.
Yeah.
So, I think now I just want to, I honestly, if I didn't have all this other music that I did with so many great producers, I would only produce for myself.
Yeah.
Because I love that shit. It feel like I sing the best on my shit. I say the best shit on my shit. But, Mike and Keys, Tay Beast, a few people you introduced me to. I'm ready to put all these records out now strategically.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, bro. For real. And I got the freedom to do it. So.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a good time. It's a good time. Bro. A lot of big transitional things happening.
Yeah, bro.
When you look back at like your career at this point, like what are there certain memories, whether it's sessions or outside of sessions, that are just like the highlight things that come to mind?
Obviously meeting Dre.
Yeah. Especially it was in that particular first moment with Thurs.
Yeah,
that's an epic.
That was like, man, it was unreal because it's like, obviously you want to work with Dre, but to see excitement in his eyes about working with you, I didn't anticipate that at all. That, I feel like, did I do Never Leave God Behind here?
Yeah.
Yeah. God is a gangster bitch. Ain't got a question, she gon' ride for shit. A God is a loyal nigga. Ain't got a question, he gon' ride, my nigga. A God, everything in between. A God is a gangster lean. My granny bro, come on. I don't write nothing. So for that shit to come out of there, it's a lot of words. Tamika, like, my Tamika, like, them is crazy. Yeah. Them are crazy moments to me.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask you something. When I first started working here, was there a gallery department there?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When did gallery department come in the picture?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, it's like this shit just blew the fuck up, dog.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Crazy.
That's been one of the most. From a brand perspective, I remember seeing that store there, and I never really checked it before you and I went over there, because I remember going over there with you for the first time to meet Trent and Josue, and like things still were relatively new.
Yeah.
There, I feel
I'd be wearing this shit to Dre's. He'd be like, why you wearing all this art that kills shit? They paying you for this shit? Like, they be teasing me. Everybody, all you do is wear gallery department. The whole world wearing that shit now, dog.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, it really is.
So much I can't even wear it no more. I be like, I wore it on the plane and somebody look, it's Migos. Ain't no fucking Migos. Get the fuck out of here, bro. This shit crazy, man. This shit everywhere. I'm so happy for Josue, man. It's just, every time I see him, it's like I say, like you just said, it's crazy to witness somebody like come from such humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Like to people walking past the store not giving a fuck, to you can't walk past the store and not see a line now. It's like even in Miami.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, it just, I mean, like an extremely talented visionary person, you know. Like I went over when they did an event. It probably was in early April, and I went over there. They did like the little cafe event, and like he's got like literally like he gave me all this shit. And I was just like, dog, like,
oh, you got some weed?
This man's got the fucking coffee beans
Let me
that
get
he
some
makes,
weed.
and he's got the weed too.
I ain't smoked the weed
from the event, and I was just like, man, like you.
Let me get some weed, bro.
You are.
You don't want to give me no weed?
No, not from that.
Okay.
You are. I have some other weed for you, but that like was a moment of recognizing like, I can't believe you're doing all this.
True Studios, OG. True Studios merch. It just make you think like, why haven't I done this?
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's so wild. The other day I was at gallery department and Josue pulled up in a fucking Porsche.
Yeah. It's sweet, huh?
And that shit made a noise. It was like,
yeah.
I turned around like, Josue. Like, what up, bro? I'm like, damn.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I mean, honestly, I had that. The most impressive thing for me was seeing the move to the store down the street and just seeing
I almost cried.
Yeah.
Because it was like seeing a Versace store or something. Like,
yeah.
Damn, bro. Like the art, it's like where he brought all the influences together. The art, the music, the fashion.
Yeah.
You know, everything, man. So.
Yeah, it's a special thing to see that, you know, and to see him in all these different categories, like doing the music thing, especially with rock, like it's a great fit. I can't remember the name of the artist, but he was playing me a project.
Cool Herc.
Cool Keith. Yeah, and Todd is the engineer.
Yeah,
and producer. Yeah, those like that. Just I love that. When he played me that project, they came in, they were using the speakers upstairs to listen, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah, they was playing it over there when she was with me last time. That shit was incredible. So.
Yeah. But it's an awesome thing to just see somebody have the ability to create their world and have it be successful and just see it bloom and continue to bloom. And you're just like, man, this is all genuinely just off the fruit of your mind.
I know.
You know?
Shit start from nothing.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, bro.
Just the talent that, like, you know, those guys have. And it's honestly like, at this point, I only wear stuff that has been made by people I know out of trying to support everybody. And, like, I love buying their shit because I just think about, like, that first store and, like, not that it matters because I'm not spending crazy amounts of money on there, like, you know, to make a difference. But it's just, like, for me, it's like I'm buying artist stuff.
I know.
Or people that I know who have young brands. And
I think as far as clothes now with me, I'm becoming super simple with it. I gotta wear some boots, gotta have some Gucci shades.
Yeah.
And I'm literally about to be thermal and Dickies for the rest of my life. Like that's the vibe, man. Cause you look at Dre, and you know, same black shirt, white forces, same black. I don't give a fuck about this fashion shit for real. Like I just, like for real, I really don't. But it feel like when I don't give a fuck, shit become a trend. So next year niggas gonna be having on thermals and Dickies. Then I'm gonna have to wear something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like I seen somebody say, I just put on another outfit. You can take this idea, I just make another one, man. And that's just been, I guess that's our, you know, even like Dre, that's what he been doing, you know, just making another one.
Yeah.
Make another idea, you know. Hopefully it's me next time, the idea he makes. C.S. Armstrong.
So you got, where are you at with your music at the moment?
At this moment, I have an LP, full produced LP by me called the Damascus Lp.
Okay.
It's 10 full songs produced by myself. I just put out an EP of 6 songs called The Makings of Me. And I put out 3 videos, all edited by myself.
Nice. I didn't know you were doing the videos.
I ain't shoot it, but I edit it.
Okay.
Yeah, I edit it. And producing it, singing it, writing it, tired as fuck.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
That's exciting.
Yeah, bro.
When's the album going to be? You have a date in line for that yet?
September 9th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So that's coming around the corner.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some features too. Some real, Odyssey.
Producer or?
Yeah, he's a dope producer. He put a verse on the album though.
Okay.
Him,
cool.
Rhapsody.
Nice.
Yeah, and Aaron Allen Kane.
Yeah.
But that's the full project. The Damascus Lp.
Nice.
Coming September 9th.
What are you? So when you're releasing that project at this point, with it being on your own, is there a distribution company you're using, or is there what's the business side of that? How are you approaching putting that out?
I've been working with STEM.
Okay, yeah, that's who I use for all my projects too.
Perfect. So I love STEM because even people that you don't work with musically, you can still get their email as a collaborator.
Yeah.
And they can be paid a percentage from the project.
Yeah.
So I love that idea.
100%.
Of hey, you gonna eat off of this for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Working. So I love STEM. I have a few major label offers. But when I say I'm scared, I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah.
I'm staying as independent as I can be for as long as I can, man.
Yeah.
And I want to rock with you. I want to rock with Tay Beast.
that
might be
man.
it.
Yeah.
That might be it. So
I know we can make that's enough to make some
exactly. So I'm
serious.
I just wanna focus on that and keep growing this fan base, man, because I feel like I sacrificed that shit. But, we back.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, like Nick and I were working really tough. Nick Grant and I were working really tough. And then the last 9 months for me have been the craziest 9-10 months I've ever had. And it kind of dismantled that a little bit. And then I went to Europe for 2 months. So it was really a pause on our work. Everything. And it just kind of became growing apart a little bit from that. And then 2 nights ago he just hit me man, we have to just get to the point where we're releasing a song every week and get into the rhythm. And I feel like that's the same thing with you. It's just that consistency.
I just thought of I'm just looking at no offense, man, people with so far less talent putting out music consistently, growing a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagine if Stevie Wonder did that.
Yeah.
Al Green. If Al Green was on live singing Simply Beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to be that for this generation, man. And like you just said, yeah, man, I want to be back at Truth. And as I'm planning on moving next month. But before I move.
Yeah, we got a month to create.
Yeah, and be as fruitful as we can. And make it happen, bro.
That's a beautiful, for me, that's you're on my list of my favorite creative singers, creative people of all time. So for me, it's always a treat every time we get to create music together. I mean, shit, dude, I got endless love for you. We've done so much epic shit together. I think about just over my fucking shoulder are the 2 flyers from the shows that we did down here that were still some of the most amazing things that have ever happened in this building.
I'm thinking about the one over there, and then then we did one over there.
Yeah.
But this one over here was when Nip passed, and I remember doing Rain in the Ghetto, and the producer Sap was there, and Sir came actually.
Yeah.
And we vibed out after.
Yeah.
And that was just a powerful show because I was still emotional from Nip going. So
yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, what a moment.
Yeah, man. And these Parsons did these pictures.
For the second show, doing the Parsons photography gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that that to me was probably the most disheartening thing about COVID was you and I opening that up, and it was honestly okay, this is about to be a Thursday night soul show in this underground weird spot off Beverly across the street from Marijuana. Great, let's do it.
Crazy.
And then I did a few more shows and album release parties. We did a show with Rush Davis, we did a show with Lorraine Chia for her album release party, and then literally we turned the corner into COVID, and it was just
damn.
And it sucked because I started to get a taste for doing the live sound engineering side of a show, which I'd never done before.
Right.
And it was so much
you
fun.
Was doing everything.
Yeah. You know, it was so much fun to be doing that.
Right.
And it's kind of like,
is that something you would want to get into?
Yeah.
Like
no,
tour
it is.
sound or something?
Yeah, it is. I was actually going to go on tour with Abraham Alexander, and he was opening for Leon Bridges on his last tour.
Shout out to Leon. Man.
Yeah. Big shout out to Leon and Abraham. I fucking love Abraham.
I don't know Abraham.
Oh, he's incredible, dude. I got to introduce you guys. He's another one of my he just is a beautiful just gem of a person. Like I just love calling him to talk. He's originally from Greece, so when I was there I called him. I was trying to FaceTime with him on the top of Athens, like, yo, bro, what's up? I'm here. It was awesome. It was a cool moment. But I was gonna try to go on tour with him and do the live sound for that tour, but it was all during COVID, and it honestly just didn't really seem like it was the right way to do that. Right. You know, it was kind of like everybody gets on the bus and stays away from everybody, and you know,
if everything get right like it's supposed to, hopefully you can be my tour. That would be
we would have a fucking great time doing that, man.
Me, you, and Tay Beast on the road.
Yeah,
that's the restaurant.
Yeah, that would be. We got to make that happen.
I know, man.
I'm in the hunt for right now. Like I have a family friend from growing up in Utah that has just finished remodeling his venue there, and I've been like trying to manifest the idea of being like a booking agent for that venue, because they just redid it. It's like
where is it?
In Park City, where I grew up. It's like a Utah. It's
you grew up in Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You trying to do this warms the soul tonight or no?
Yeah, sure. You want to?
But I got a few questions.
Okay, sure.
What? Okay. Give me 5 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Park City. So
Utah.
Park City is like 45 minutes, 30 minutes east of Salt Lake City.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
I just don't think Utah when I think of Nick. Like,
yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing, dude. I grew up in
favorite food in Utah.
There was my mom's cooking, because Utah's food is not. I mean, now Utah has a pretty cool scene, especially in Salt Lake, but there's like maybe 2 restaurants in Park City that stood the test of time. They all just fucking
Park City, Utah.
Suck.
I've literally never heard nobody say that.
It's so Park City is where they have Sundance Film Festival. That's the only thing that. Okay. Well, I guess and the ski resorts. The ski resorts are also like like Deer Valley was the only, like one of the few resorts still where you only have skiers. They don't allow snowboarders. And oh yeah. Damn. So for me, like I grew up in the it was like unbelievably perfect growing up there. Like we had our house, and my dad, even before we had our house, had a ranch property. So I would go out there with him and fly fish and ride 4-wheelers, ride dirt bikes, ride horses. So like I had that as
Why would you want to leave that for music? Like how did music? Sorry, I know I'm about.
No, it's fine.
How did music come into? Because I would have stayed.
Yeah, no. Well, that's why I'm. That's now. I'm exhausted from LA. So I have like a 2-year. A big part of that is doing this, which I kind of feel like is a cool way to give like the Polaroid wall a connection to the actual human, and actually have this collection of all these people that I've been lucky enough to meet on the music journey to kind of create this capsule and this podcast of these are who these people are, these are our relationships, and then ultimately close the door on LA and just leave here. Like I'm eyeing the door, which is in 2 years. Like I'm about to be 33. At 35, I'm looking to get out of here.
Park City or?
No, that was kind of why I took that trip to Europe. Like I'm actually thinking about moving to Europe as well. Like I loved the fact that I could travel around and be in different countries for like a $30 train ticket gets you to another world, another culture, another language, whole other environment, whole other food thing.
Same shit.
Yeah.
30 minutes from here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and so there's a lot of interesting, appealing things about that for me that I really loved. And I also am interested in just totally shifting gears to create other music and be in another part of the world. But growing up in Park City, man, it was like in the winter, there's a free bus system that runs in the city. I get a snowboard pass for $99 in high school to go for the whole season. Now a day pass to go for one single day is like $220.
A snowboarding pass?
Yeah. for the Park City Mountain Resort. It's fucking insane.
So,
but I had a day pass or a season pass for $99, which also would work in the summer. So I go mountain biking in the summer, downhill mountain biking, where you'd basically just like, you just take your bike and they'd put it on the chairlift and they'd bring you to the top of the mountain. And so like you literally could just run that all day long in the summer. I grew up with like a core group of like 8 friends that we were all into that. We were all into snowboarding. Some of them went on to go pro snowboarding and all that, because that Park City like is a breeding ground for like professional athletes. Like it's very much, but there is no music scene there. It was a small town. I mean, when I grew up there, it was like a town of like 15,000 people. Damn. You know, like it was a nothing.
When did you come to LA?
I moved here when I was 17. So I moved to San Francisco first. I was dating a girl at the time who had wanted to live in San Francisco, and I was trying to find a place to do music. Like I started making music. I went to boarding school in Switzerland for a year, and I met a kid there who introduced me to garage band.
Slow down. You went to boarding school in Switzerland for a year.
Yeah, my sophomore year of high school.
Wow.
And
what was that like? That's crazy.
I can't even I could talk about that for like 5 hours. It was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun. I got to meet people from all over the world, and it just totally changed my parents like took us traveling a bit when we were younger, which I was super fortunate for, but that was a whole different experience. Just being in another part of the world. My brother was there also. So my brother was a senior and I was a sophomore in high school. So it was great because I had like my older brother. He had already like had friends there. And
siblings, you just got your older brother?
I'm my older brother, and then I have 2 half sisters from my dad.
I feel bad that I've never asked you none
That's
of
what I'm saying. It's funny to have like a conversation where, because we're always just on some like, hey, music. As soon as we get here, we sit down, you know, and even if we take a pause to make food or get food, it's always still kind of like in theme of what we're doing, you know. But yeah, so
there's 4 siblings, 4 of y'all.
Yeah, but I'm not very close with my half sisters. My dad passed in September last year, so we've been talking a lot more. Like, you know, it brought our unit back tighter. But growing up, it was really me and my brother and my parents. We were like the core of it, and then my friends that I grew up with in Park City. I still talk to 2 of them multiple times a week, every week on the phone. And one of them probably every couple months, because he lives like in a not so much like cell phone service type of place. So he's a little bit more difficult to get a hold of, but we still talk that often, like 20 years plus years later, you know, which is like just to show like the strength of like those friendships. And growing up there, we were just having the best fucking time, man.
Sound like I want to go.
Yeah,
peaceful.
It is super peaceful. If luck has it, it'll be cool to be able to book a show with you at that venue that I was telling you about and go spend like a week there or something.
Hell yeah, go kayaking or some shit. Is it lakes and shit?
Lakes, yeah. So that was the other thing. It's funny because I was just looking through my hard drive and I found a random folder of we were doing like wake surfing, wakeboarding, like stuff. So
wakeboarding was
wakeboarding is like when you're behind like a boat being pulled. You have a rope, like you basically have like a rope hooked up to the boat, and you have like a snowboard type thing, but you're on the water.
Did you see a joint? You saw Travis Barker post a joint where it was no rope on there?
So that's wake surfing. That's what we found out later in life, and it's way easier. So when you're wakeboarding, you're going like 25 miles an hour, and when you fall, it's like hitting concrete. It can hurt. Like when you're going that fast, it's like, you know, if you hit the water. Like my friend had like his eye bleeding. Like you could really, it hurts, you know. But when you're wake surfing, you're going like 8 miles an hour, and you're in like the like kind of like the throw of the like the foam, and the water is just like, it's just like you just, if you fall, you just like it's just like a gentle thing. But you literally can surf behind the boat. Like the boat makes a wave that you can surf in without a rope. And it is, we would wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, go to the lake. It's like perfect time. Like the lake is literally just glass. Like the water is just completely flat, no wind. Go from like 6 to like 8:30. Get off the lake, go work. I work construction with my brother. We work like building foundations for houses and shit, doing like a dirt compactor, you know, like all that stuff, which was just ridiculous.
That's funny.
And then 5 o'clock, 5:30, we're off work, pick the boat back up, go back out to the lake, go from like 6 o'clock to like 9 o'clock when the sun's setting. Same kind of scenario with like the flat water. And
what y'all was listening to when y'all was on the lake? What
well,
kind of music?
Mostly rap for sure. Like before
what era?
2000, like probably stuff that was pretty current. I would say like 2003, 2000. Yeah. Oh yeah. Big G Unit, all that kind of for sure. It's funny because I was listening to like as I started doing music here and still would go back to Utah. I have some footage upstairs. It's like playing like Blue and some other, it's just like listening to that stuff on the lake was
wait till you go upstairs,
absolutely amazing. But yeah, man, that was my summer. So it was just like so spoiled to be like going to the lake or mountain biking or fishing every day. And then in the winter, like in high school there, they offer adventure PE where you literally go snowboard for your PE class.
What?
Yeah.
Shit, fuck Berlin. We living in Park City, nigga. Shit, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it was an awesome time to be there. It's changed a lot now, especially because of COVID. It's not as talked about like Austin, but it's one of the cities that expanded like well beyond its capacity because everybody moved there.
To Park City, Utah?
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people moved there for how big the city is. Like it was a town. I wouldn't even call it a city. Yeah. And so many people moved there. It's changed so much since I grew up. Like it was one of those, most people know each other. It's crazy. I mean, well now there's like $2 or $3 billion hotel projects being built there. Like there's some serious
Sound
money.
Like Athens. I mean, what's the joint that Dumb and Dumber? Aspen.
Oh yeah.
Like Aspen.
Yeah, it is. It's funny you say that because Vail Resorts is another Colorado company bought Park City Mountain Resort and the Canyons, which were two ski resorts that were right next to each other, and they joined them together, and now that's the biggest ski resort in North America. Damn. And when that happened, it changed like a whole different wave of money moved there. Like the city just expanded like crazy. Yeah.
Where's CS at?
Yeah.
I'm skiing, falling down every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That sounds dope, man.
It would be amazing. I still have my two really close friends, Bryce and Edgar, live there. It'd be fun whatever time of year if we go to it'd be fun to go to the lake too and go do that, have that experience. But yeah, that was an amazing place to grow up, man. And the timing, I feel like I lived there was just super special. Like I look back at my life growing up as like the best era of time.
Damn.
Yeah, it was so fucking great.
So beautiful.
I
wish I could say that.
Yeah, I was so spoiled, man. And but the thing is, I appreciated I understood even young how special all that was.
Right. No, I never got a vibe that you take advantage of a moment. It seemed like you, just the way you hug people, man. You could tell like, damn, this nigga really love life. Like,
yeah.
It just seemed like you really appreciate every moment, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I do. I genuinely do. It's I don't know. It was always a weird feeling. I felt like I was going to die really young. Like, I don't know why. Like, before I turned 18, before I turned 21, like, there was just we just did a lot of dumb shit growing up. A lot of dumb shit. And, like, funny dumb, but still risky, like, Jackass influenced us in the wrong fucking way, like, we were just talking about it because my sisters were here. We had a headstone unveiling for my dad, like, 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about, like, when we were, like, I don't know, I must have been 13. My brother was 15 or 14 and 16, something like that. My sister was watching us for a New Year's party. And we would drive, must have been my brother was at least old enough to drive, because we would drive to Wyoming to buy fireworks. Because in Wyoming, you can buy any kind of fireworks. Yeah. Like the craziest, like the craziest, like the full-on shit that you go to like a show to see somewhere, like what they do for like the pier in LA or something, for 4th of July. Like you could buy that. Damn. And we would just go load up. And one year, I don't know why, but we had this idea to start a bonfire, and we did. And then I went and with like a few friends just took like a handsaw and cut down my neighbor's trees to try to use that for firewood for this bonfire. What? Not even thinking like, oh, these are fresh trees. They're not dry. They're not going to burn. They're covered in snow, whatever. Like literally just some dumb shit. And then as this bonfire is going, I have like a briefcase full of fireworks, and I literally just take it and just huck all the fireworks in there, and that shit just starts exploding in every direction. Like everybody,
that sound crazy.
That was before there was really like well before that, but that was like before even like cameras had phones. You know, that was like the Nokia brick phone with Snake. Right. You know, like there was no cameras. Yeah, me too. I had a friend, Pete, who would throw that phone as high up as he could in the air and let it just smash on the ground, and that phone was still good. You just keep it rolling. But yeah, I mean, there was just stuff like that. So the next morning, like the police show up at our house, and it's literally like, you know, like, can we go to the backyard and do you see this trail in the snow that goes from your house to this person's house, where you see these tree stumps that have been cut down?
We know it was you, bro.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of like, you know, we would fuck around with fireworks, and my brother like built, and his friends built like a potato gun, like a crazy potato gun. Damn. And they'd just be shooting that off. And I remember like it was a day police just showed up in our driveway, like guns drawn, like at the front door, thinking like there was something happening. And it's just one of those things. It was just like we were just doing all the most random shit, you know.
Shit, we was going nigga knocking, man. Beating on people's doors and running. That was our it's kind of fun, man. That's dope though, man. I can't wait to visit and do that show.
Yeah, we're gonna manifest that. That's got to happen. He's got a great place here too. That like he was in the process of building an amphitheater in his house, like in the backyard of his house. Oh shit! And like it's beautiful. I just don't know where. I haven't caught up with him since I got back. So that's something to check in on. But yeah, that was where I grew up, man. It was like from age 5 to 17.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to visit there. I don't know shit about Utah. Like, nothing except, you know, what's my boy? I know about the Jazz.
Yeah.
But what's my Donovan Mitchell? Oh, he about to leave, man.
Yeah. That's what I hear. Man. I gave up on the Jazz in like 2000
Knicks or something like that.
2014 or 2015. Like Darren Williams and like Jerry Sloan, the coach, had a big disagreement. Jerry Sloan quit, and I was just like, all right, man, this is when I part ways with this team. I was ride or die from little to that, and you know,
who
like,
you with now?
I don't have a team.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I don't really pay much attention to sports. Like growing up there, I got really into extreme sports, so I was always more interested in like, yeah, you know, I was watching like Shaun White and all the half pipe stuff, or I literally would watch like how I found music, which is like something I hope to go full circle on now. Is I used to discover music from watching snowboarding videos, wakeboarding videos, skate videos, ski videos, rollerblading videos. But like those guys, especially like snowboarding videos, like they were traveling all around the world, or like the athletes were from different parts of the world. So they'd be like putting music in from their world. And it was awesome. Yeah. You know, it was really great to discover music like that. And then there was always this weird like tie to just like the like super gangster, super thug shit of hip hop being in snowboarding videos. And it just always had this.
I mean, you think about like Tony Hawk PlayStation games, obviously. But
yeah, that was another big one too, is video games. Like I still remember that sound. I mean, everybody remembers the soundtrack from Tony Hawk Pro Skater, because that was like a cultural fucking thing we all had, you know? It was great. But yeah, that was a lot of how I like discovered my early stages. That was how I discovered music. I would say that like was my first time finding stuff that wasn't like what my parents listened to, or you know, what is like building my own identity in music I loved. Right. That's dope, man. And that like I don't know why, but I always had this weird thing with listening to songs where I never really listened to albums. I listened to songs 500 times.
Yeah, same.
And then I move on to another song I find, and I listen to it 500 times. And it was such a weird thing to identify, like, oh man, that's kind of what mixing a song is all about. Damn. You know, is I have the patience to listen to this song
a million times.
Yeah. I mean, now, fortunately, like I've developed a skill for it where I could listen to it like 10 times and feel like, oh, I got this in the bag.
Yeah. Right.
But that's just from doing that for, 8 years and counting. But it was funny how that kind of groomed me for that type of work.
Like I was talking about being on punishment with the keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how those moments in life just like come full circle for you.
My cousin said this to me when I was back home. He said, life don't happen to you, it happens for you. And a lot of times it's not just for you.
Yeah.
It's for the people around you.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man. Everything, even the painful parts. Like,
Yeah.
You were like, damn, man, it's so painful. Why is this for anything?
Yeah.
And then it helps somebody else get through their pain. And it's like, damn, oh, that's what that was for. Like, yeah, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You know, it is. I mean, life is it's a wild fucking ride, to say the least. I've been definitely going through the hardest chapter in my life for the last 9 months, and I don't know what the fuck all that's for, but I'm excited to see what this next chapter is going to bring. You know, I feel like it's
a lot of dope music. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I feel like there's something about it too with all my past experiences to now, which I feel like have put me in a position for this to really be everything I've always dreamed of and more. And there's also something about the idea of leaving LA in 2 years that puts a little bit of like a pressure on building things the way that I want to, so that when I leave here, I'm already into the next chapter of like creating with the people I want to create with.
Right.
And, you know, hopefully this all sets up like the ability to land somewhere and just be like, hey, man, I'm living in Sweden now. I could just fly you over here and come live with me for a month or 2 months, or fucking honestly just come live with me.
I was seeing a fucking a writing camp in Utah.
Oh, that would be cool.
I mean, fire.
Yeah.
Like a true studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, for the longest time, I had like a, you know, it's like if I ever got to the point where it was like, oh, I have, you know, $50 million or $70 million to be like, oh, I'm going to open 5 studios or 10 studios in different parts of the world and have like different environments for that. But I don't know if I'm like that ambitious for it anymore to have that, you know, and like it's also kind of interesting because of the way that creating music has changed. Like I feel like I can bring like a road rack anywhere and have my gear. And like at this point, it's like there can be true studios anywhere in the world, which is essentially the gear that's upstairs and me. And then whoever else is, you know, they're creating, producers, artists, and however we all get down. But that's definitely something like for me, being in a place that has 4 seasons, like 4 real full seasons, is a big deal because I grew up with that and I miss that a lot.
Oh no, this man, it don't be here at all. It just be hot all the time,
and then less hot for a little while,
and then back to hot. Even when it rained for like 10 minutes, then it stopped. I'm like, fuck, man, I just wanted to rain all day. But yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple places I got hit with a rainstorm in Prague. You ever been to Prague?
I've never been to Prague.
You got to go because it's a short train ride from Berlin. You should do that quick.
Yeah, for sure.
I got stuck there. Because I was just walking everywhere. Anytime I'd be in a new city, I was averaging like 20, 30,000 steps a day for 2 months in Europe. It was so great, man. Just traveling and walking around. But I got caught in a crazy thunderstorm and like just being literally just soaked to the point where it's like, all right, fuck it. I'm good now. I might as well have just jumped in the pool. So I'll just stay outside. And I was just hearing these like crazy like cracks of thunder, just like Prague's like an old town, but it's kind of still tall and it's all cobblestone stuff. And the thunder like just rattled through the whole city. So it was just this like angry, powerful, just, and it was so cool. I was like, man, I haven't been in this in so long and just loving it. Just having a moment with that. And just being like, oh man, I missed this, you know?
Man. That's why I can't wait to get over there, bro.
Yeah. And there's something special about the feeling of like a storm rolling in and then it breaking and then it passing.
Oh no.
That like psychologically is special.
Damn, this is dope, man. That's how life is, man.
Yeah, it really is, you know? So it's kind of weird to be here, you know, and this place is such a vacuum, you know, like I feel like, I mean, I've been in this building for 11 and a half years. And it's wild to think about, like 90% of that 11 and a half years I've literally been in this building upstairs in that room. And it's like a weird way to live life just in like that. And
it's like I was telling you about how I moved around a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I wish I had a childhood in one place, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I can be like, you know, but I moved around so fucking much. So I think it's dope. It's admirable to be in one place for so long, because a lot of people, I mean, you just drive by places and it'd be something different there every other year. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, what happened to the, you know what I'm saying? So it's dope that you can, you know, withstand the test of time like that.
I wrestle with that with this place because for a while I was looking at if I qualify to register this place as an LA landmark, and I like thought about it because of everything that's existed and happened here, like, and it would just be a cool thing to leave in like the imprint of LA and LA music.
Right.
And it's hard for me to think about giving this place up, especially like if I look at old video.
Wait,
like,
what would that mean if you make it a landmark?
Oh no, nothing. Okay. I think at the very least it would just be like a thing in a history book, kind of like a, you know, like a nothing special. I mean, I don't know if it literally means like you can't tear a building down or something. I don't know what the law is on shit like that, but I wouldn't want to like force that on anybody. But at the same time, there's just been so much. Wow.
I can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
Trent called me like, that shit crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Like, yeah, right. That shit crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
life wild, man.
And you know what's funny?
Wait, hold up. It went by me.
Oh shit.
What? What'd she say? Why she text you? That's so random.
That's just life, you know? Yeah. What are the odds we're sitting here and that happens for both of us? Probably around the same time too. Our phones are lighting up at the same time. But yeah, you know, it's tough. Like this place really just personally to me just means so much. I've spent so much time here. I've had so many like intimate moments here. Honestly, the most I've ever had in my life.
Artists will come to LA and try to be mysterious about what studio they in, and they'll post like a little corner. I be like, oh, tell Nick I said what up. They be like, damn, man, I'm trying to be low key. All right. Like, nah, I know every inch of that place, man.
Yeah.
For real, dog.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I mean, you and I really had a lot. Like I was thinking about that earlier, both from us talking about doing this and just like going back and watching, you know, all like, I mean, I haven't watched all of them, but just watching, you know, footage of us.
Remember, I made a page, Armstrong Studios.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You can go like look at all the. I visited there once in a while. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah, we made a crazy collection of music. You know,
what do we do with that? Do with it? Like, do
yeah.
we?
It's funny. I was sitting here as you were talking and also thinking about that. Like, oh, can
Like,
we
do
take
we
those
put that on
vocals and
streaming services?
reproduce those songs? I don't know if we need to or like.
Why can't we keep them the same?
I'm sure we can. I don't know.
Was any of the songs like
I don't really know if there were that many samples.
Link Ray, that was one. Hold on tight, don't let me.
Yeah.
Go. That was a.
Man,
that was the Japanese joint.
Yeah.
But it was one where we did Link Ray. That's the only sample one I remember.
Yeah, we could go back and look, but yeah,
we should put that.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I was just telling. I do all this thinking. Man, I'm going to mix my voice like this. I'm going to sing like this. Nobody reacts. I posted a video of me singing raw as fuck. Everybody go crazy.
Yeah.
I be like, you motherfuckers, man. I'm doing all this thinking and y'all don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Then when I don't think, y'all give a fuck. Like, what is it? So this is literally within the past 2 days. Like, people been hitting me like, yo, I want to hear you sing. Like, we need that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if we could put Warms of Soul, like,
yeah.
at least 5 of them.
I think literally every single one of those is, I left that as raw as possible with every song we made. At the very least, there might be like a little reverb or something, but the whole intention of that was just to make that like the rawness of you, you know? And highlight that, because there's literally no tricks, you know. Most of those, I mean, if not all of them, were probably made within an hour max of us applying, and that's like to the song being mastered, you know. And it's just like such a cool thing. I don't think people have the context to really know, like, oh man, these guys came in here with nothing and like created this whole thing all the way from the lead performance, backgrounds you're writing after, and like mixing it down and releasing it and syncing it on video in 2 hours and having it be live in 2 hours, you know. Like, I don't know anybody that's capable of creating at that pace. Only other person that I'd say is, which I'm hoping we crack into that, is Nick. Nick really does write and create. When we made the Welcome to Loveland album, it was like, unfortunately, it led like right up into when my dad passed. But right before that, we were making like 2 to 3 full songs a day.
Damn.
For like 10 days straight. And it was just like, dog, what? And that was a whole nother, we were discovering that sound. I mean, he'd never really sang before. We were working out how to build, you know, the style around that. But the two of you are like the fastest working, naturally talented.
We're working with Punch and discussing meeting him, bro.
I never worked with Punch, man. I would love to. I mean, as a rapper, I like his style.
But Punch used to get mad at me because he had me in that group. And I used to be honest with him. Only one I fuck with is Nick. Like, hey, look, Nick is crazy.
Yeah.
He'd be like, yeah, but I'm like, nah, Nick is crazy. I want to do this with Nick. Yeah, but what about Nick? Like,
yeah.
Man, he's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
He always come with something, and us together in a room is
dangerous, man.
What you would imagine it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like constant back and forth creatively. So
yeah,
I fuck with him, man.
Yeah, I came across that video from when we had the Worms of Soul with him featured on it, and that was when I met him. I forgot the name of that.
Featured on it.
Yeah, there was one with Nick that he rapped a verse. That was how I met Nick, was through you. And he came in to rap, and he rapped, I don't know why I woke up this morning feeling crazy tired. And the whole day my brain's been in like a fog. I'll play it for you upstairs after we're done. But yeah, that was how I met him originally.
Damn, that's why.
Yeah. And then we didn't really connect after a while. Tay and I reconnected, and that was one of the artists that he was just like, man, I really want to do. Tay and I were going to do 6 EPs in 2019. Yeah, we're going to do an EP every 2 months.
Brandon
and then
Banks, Nick,
yeah. We eventually linked in with Junie.
Oh yeah, Junie, what happened to her, dog?
She's just having some like personal.
I ain't talked to her in Junie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I ain't talked to her. I ain't even seen her online.
Yeah, she hasn't been.
Damn.
Yeah.
She okay?
I hope so. I mean, Tay and I talk about her, and I called her when I was in Europe. She's just taking personal time. I think.
That's so crazy. I used to see her a lot on Instagram, and I ain't seen her at all.
Yeah.
Brittany, you doing 8 or 6?
8.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we made a lot of amazing stuff. But honestly, man, like, and one of the other EPs that I really wish we finished, COVID kind of threw a wrench at that too. We were working a lot, but then everybody got spooked or somebody got sick or this or that, was with Daylight and Jag. And Tay was producing an EP with Jag? Daylight and Jag. Yeah, dude from here. And I want to say he's also from here.
I feel like I did a song.
Yeah, you did. You sang one of the hooks for that.
Okay.
And it was like one of those, hey, we're scheduling sessions, and then one person can't, and then all of a sudden we just kept falling out and missing, and it's just like, damn,
That's
man.
That's the thing about getting older, bro. When you kids, it seems like, getting up ain't a difficult thing.
Yeah.
But when you get older, it's like, people got kids, people got parents, cousins, family, all this shit, jobs.
Yeah, no, it's tough, I mean, for me, it's always an open door. I mean, it's just like, I just love the music so much. I was like, fuck, I wish we could finish this, like it was really cool. And those guys during COVID had like their like battle rap careers just like skyrocketed. Daylight all of a sudden became like the top cat, and all of a sudden and Jag was right behind him, and it was just like, man, you guys. And it was fun because we were making an album with them or EP with them, and like it was monstrous.
Yeah.
Just Tay was in his.
It was dope to see Daylight grow into an artist, because he can battle rap for sure.
Yeah.
But seeing him
make music
and like challenge himself to be great at it.
Yeah.
It was just dope.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, now I'm like it feels like there was that kind of lull, that time where everybody was getting sorted with COVID, and now like I talk to Tay every couple months, just for weeks, just to check in with him on health stuff, make sure life's good, and
he got his thing going on.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping to tap back in with him on that regular working side of things, because
supposed to be meeting up with him tomorrow. Actually.
Oh, great!
It's like That's like, come on, dog.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Man,
I haven't.
I'm producing now, and again, I can show you my text thread with me and Tay. It's like we back and forth like every day. So it's like, hey man, that's dangerous, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that was. I mean, and you got great chemistry with Mike and Keys too. I mean, that all that stuff we were making pretty much before you.
You know they live in Vegas now though.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they same thing as us, man. They tired of LA.
Yeah.
So they moved out to Vegas.
Interesting. I wonder why they did Vegas.
Well,
family something? Somebody got family there?
No family. The cost of living, they got a house for super cheap.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big factor. Like, that's the interesting thing about music. That's like the one thing that I kind of find it's less important where you live, because when you're just doing music, you're inside like every fucking day, all day long anyway.
You can do that shit anywhere, bro.
Yeah, you really can. Yeah. That's why it's kind of silly to be living here and paying ridiculous money for fucking living.
Me?
Yeah.
I would rather be peaceful, man.
Yeah, me too.
I ain't trying to go back to Houston. I ain't going back to New York. DC was trash. Like,
yeah,
I'm out of here, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I've just been eyeing where that'll be. That's, I mean, for me, the most difficult thing is just ripping the Band-Aid off, leaving this place. You know, like
that's why I hate that you gotta leave it. I wish you can just leave and keep this.
I could. I mean, what I've thought about doing a lot is just stripping it all the way to zero, like taking all my stuff, taking all my equipment. I could build like a writing room level, like what I had in this place 8 years ago, you know, and like it could still exist. But
make you money while you.
Yeah, but I kind of just feel like I want to keep the place. Like you always want to keep your last thing alive, but I feel like that's also like another big chapter in growing, is like a person is just, because it's like, you know, I feel like everybody I've talked to, like when I was with Addie and Gavin, Toronto, everybody, I fucking love Toronto, man. I love Toronto. That was ridiculous, man. That is a place I could move.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But you know, in talking to those guys, like I was like, man, I kind of wish, like, you know, it was my first time going to Toronto, and 10 years of knowing those guys. I've known Addy since 2012, and every year he'd be like, you got to come to Toronto and, you know, meet all these people and come around. And I never took anybody up on that who offered me those kind of, you know, like open door to whatever city they're from kind of thing. Right. And, you know, I was talking to them and just being like, man, I regret not like traveling more and being around everybody. You know, it's nice to be in your hometown, your comfort zone, you know,
everybody come here.
Yeah. And so, but then they were like, well, to be honest, like we all depended on you being at Truth. And so that was the whole reason we all loved it. So it kind of is one of those things that I wrestle with like, yes, I could find some engineers, and yes, this would just become like another studio, you know,
it's not you.
And it's like, and it's harder. Like I try to like, who is replacement me? You know, like I would love to find that person. Maybe, you know, but like I would love to find that. Like I would love to find somebody who doesn't, like, for me, it's like, I don't care. I've never cared about like the money, and I've always been able to see how to connect people within my network to be like, oh man, you need to meet this person. This person needs your beats. This person needs to sing on you. You need to rap and do this with this, you know, like that's something that I feel like I need to do more of going forward. Is like, I've been trying to figure out what my like DJ Khaled name is, to be like, man, I just know too many people to not be saying like, you need this beat, you need to come in and do this thing, and we need to just make this song and release it. We need to just keep running that play. But I haven't figured out how to quite like what like a brand would be to do that. But it's like, you know, at this point, like that's something I have like this ridiculous network for, you know, and that's something I haven't really taken advantage of, because I just didn't really know what the vehicle was. Like, it's hard to just constantly be like, oh, this is a True Studios album, and it's kind of like, meh, that doesn't really hold the weight, you know?
It does to me.
I mean, it does, but it doesn't have that same, you know, like, I'm gonna do that. So what I'm working on now in my,
I think it hold more weight than DJ Khaled, for real, to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's more a matter of, like, I have to look at that, like, that's now going to have to be, like, a brand for the world to see musically, and I just feel like there's no other studio that is like releasing music that's like a brand that we look at and say, you know, oh, that's where all this album is, you know. Sunset Sound isn't like making an album as like releasing it as
that's fire though.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's very much like
innovative.
Yeah, but it's like, even Motown, I don't think Motown ever maybe they made like Motown's greatest hits, which I could do from like the studio.
Motown Review.
But I don't think there was ever, and it's funny you bring that up because that's something I'm planning to start also, is like a community of like people who all review each other's music to talk about what they think the strengths and weaknesses are, because I feel like we really need that.
That's fair.
I was going to do something just basically like on Discord.
That shit was a show though. The Motown Review was like a show of like the top 6 acts on the label at the time. Yeah, go.
I mean, I would love to have access to like that. I mean, not that couldn't exist, but yeah.
You know
yeah. Yeah, I mean that type of thing would be great. But now, I mean, we also live in an era where we're digital in a way that they weren't. So it's, and like I have a friend, like I have 2 friends in England that I want to have be a part of that. Like Cam's living in New Mexico now. Like everybody's kind of spread out. Yeah, he got married.
What?
Yeah, and him and his wife bought a house in New Mexico.
That's fine.
But it's like, it would be awesome to have this like book club style thing where it's just like, oh, hey, I made this album or this song. I'm going to put it in this Discord. Can you review your thoughts and get back to me by next Wednesday? And 10 or 15 or 20 people are all a part of like analyzing your thing to say like, hey, man, I'm not really fucking with this, or I love this, or yeah.
A true review?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great. That might be it right there. I like the wording of that. But a big thing that I'm in the process of making a documentary for the studio from 2009 to 2019, like a 10-year thing.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean I've been going through footage and I'm just like, holy shit,
you got
nuts.
footage of Nip here, or you just got the picture?
No, Nick did an interview here with him that we have like the footage for, Hard Knock TV interview. That's like an hour and a half interview with him. Yeah, it's great. Damn. I'm working on that 10-year album for the studio. So this girl that I was telling you about that I've been talking to, like she was like, oh, you need to the smarter thing would be to license the biggest songs that have come out of the studio in the last 10 years and make that the True Studios album. But and that might be something that goes like with the documentary. But I was more so looking at a 10-year album being like 80, 90 songs that I have in this playlist that's like all this unreleased stuff from all these people. So it's like No Name and James Blake and you, or like all this stuff that's just like all these songs that are just sitting on my hard drive essentially. And it's like it would just be a crazy collection of music that most likely will never make it to the world that I feel like needs to, So I was kind of looking at it like that for the reason for making that album.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
80 song playlist.
Yeah. I mean, but it's literally like a storage unit of music,
Nice.
It's my hard drives for the last, I've literally everybody's sessions since I met him from fucking day one.
Fucking curtains.
Yeah, that's funny. I got to show you footage of fucking curtains from 2009 in my apartment that you're going to die. But even that, man, I'm listening to him and I'm like, dude, this fucker really was great. Like prolific writer.
Favorite ones, man.
Yeah. He said some shit. I was listening back to some of those videos and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I was looking at Charles Hamilton interviews recently.
Oh, wow.
Like, damn, what happened, bro? Like, I used to be around him all the time in New York, and then he just disappeared.
I'm trying to remember how I met him randomly. I think Hassan brought him through here. You know Hassan Kafaf? I don't know if I ever introduced you to him. He's another one that you should just meet to create with because he's a monster producer. He works in like Kanye's writing camp more as a producer, but he does also do like vocal ideas and stuff like that. When he was doing all those EPs, Kanye would send him stuff and we were working on it here and we would send it back, which was crazy. And like I have some sketches of Kanye just doing mumble shit for some of those songs that made that project, or the Kid Cudi stuff. And it was funny because he was sitting upstairs with me like, man, I don't know if I should go to Wyoming. Like, I don't really know if I want to like go fly out there. And I was just like, dog, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, book your flight and get out there. And he did next day. And then he reconnects with Dame Dash there. And Dame signs him as Dame's first artist.
Wait, hold up. What's his name?
Hassan.
What's his artist name?
Hassan. He goes by, I don't know if he goes by Hassan Kafaf or just Hassan. Hassan. He's like a kind of lighter skin, almost like Middle Eastern looking dude. His hair is pretty wild now. Like, but
sounds so familiar.
I'm sure. Yeah. But he primarily makes stuff with samples, but nonetheless, I feel like whether it's for Warm Soul or if we just figure out how to get him samples that he can use without having to worry about clearing them, he just makes awesome shit.
Yeah.
I probably have some stuff upstairs I can play you that I feel like you would like.
Want to play it real quick?
Oh yeah, sure.
So
I mean, it's cool when you're done. I mean, you got probably, I don't know, another, unless you want to go upstairs. It's up to you guys. Does it make a difference to you if you move upstairs?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Well, shit, dude. This was this was fantastic. I'm really fucking glad that we got to do this.
Finally.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the unedited version of this is wild as hell. We just traveled
2 hours
for
of real shit.
probably, I don't even know how. Yeah, I don't know how long we 2 hours and 20 minutes right now.
Hey, fucking Nori be going 3-4 hours on Drink Champs.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to wind this one down.